Are you struggling with self-esteem regarding your income? Well, your husband might be. Are you afraid there won't be enough money to pay the bills? Your wife might be concerned. A financial pinch will make your man feel bad. And for women, they have a need for security. Now, again, we're generally speaking here. But let's dive in to see how we can avoid these typical marriage issues over money. Hi, my name is Danielle West, and my husband and I help couples repair marital strife to get more out of life. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified when we post a video every week. Money challenges aside, getting married can have certain financial advantages. It's a great way to double your income without doubling your expenses. If you can synchronize your goals, you can reach them much more quickly by doing it together instead of working alone. But there are certain ways to manage your finances that can hurt your marriage. Let's talk about a few of those. Sometimes couples decide to split the bills down the middle or allocate them in some other fair, equitable manner. When the bills have been covered, each spouse can spend what they have left as they see fit. Now, it sounds like a reasonable plan, but the process often builds resentment over individual purchases made. It also divides spending power and the ability to plan for long-term goals such as buying a house or how you plan for retirement. And it can lead to relationship ruining behavior like financial infidelity, where one spouse hides money from the other. Bill splitting also pushes down the road any planning about how financial burdens will be handled. Let's say if one spouse loses a job or decides to cut back on hours or takes a pay cut to try out a new career, or leaves the workforce to raise children, or go back to school, or care for an aging parent. I mean, there's plenty of different scenarios out there. Any of those scenarios may require the partner to financially support each other. Couples owe it to themselves to have a conversation about these types of situations before they occur. Now, it's pretty likely that some debt has been brought into your marriage, from school loans to car loans to credit cards to gambling habits. Most people come to the altar with some financial baggage. If one partner has more debt than the other, or if one partner is debt-free, the sparks can start to fly when discussions about income, spending, and debt come up. The way to address this is both partners should have an honest, non-judgmental discussion, ideally around the time when the relationship looks like it's getting serious, about the debts that they would bring into the marriage. Each should come clean about any bad spending or financial habits that the other should know about, because it does come out in the future, whether you share about it now or later, and now is better than later. So couples should also perform a full accounting of the debts that they have and talk about how they plan to attack it, either paying off the higher interest debt first or paying off the smallest loans first, as known as the debt snowball method. There's also different types of personality when it comes to money. There's the spender and the saver. And the spender sometimes maybe wants to make a statement, or they enjoy buying and shopping, whereas the saver seems more risk averse. So whether you're a spender or a saver, it's best to recognize bad habits and address them head on. There's also power plays that can often occur in marriages. Like, for example, one partner has a paid job and the other doesn't, or both partners would like to be working, but one is employed, or one spouse earns considerably more than the other, or one partner comes from a family that has money and the other doesn't. When one or more of these situations is present, the one who makes the most money often wants to dictate the couple's spending priorities. Again, we're talking about generalizations here. Although there may be some rationale behind this idea, it's still important that partners cooperate as a team. Keep in mind that a joint account offers transparency and access. To address the power play, few things build resentment faster than being made to feel inferior. If you've got more cash, you need to be sensitive on how you present spending decisions to your spouse. Studies have shown that people with more power are more likely to act impulsively and aggressively and approach others with less empathy. Each partner in a marriage should ask themselves whether their behavior works towards the goal of a more kind, appreciative relationship or not. Then there's the discussion of children, to have or not to have. That's usually the first question. And remember, there's food, clothing, shelter, Little league, ballet, designer jeans, prom gowns, minivans, and college are all part of a long list of child-related expenses. And these don't include expenses for offspring who have already left the nest. And that's assuming your kids will leave the nest. I mean, some never do. According to a U.S. Department of Agriculture report released in 2017, the cost of raising a child to age 18 in the United States is over $200,000. It's actually this number right here. And of course, having kids isn't just about the cost. If one partner cuts their hours, works from home, or leaves a career to raise children, couples need to address how that changes the marriage dynamics and the assumptions about retirement, their lifestyle, and so much more. And now let's not forget about extended family. Co-managing finances and respecting the goals and needs of each spouse's extended family can be especially tricky. Take, for example, her brother can't make the rent. Now one spouse is writing a check and the other wants to know why they're not spending the money on their own needs in their house. And when a serious crisis arises, like an illness or unexpected death, then the pressure can be magnified. Family money dynamics works the other way too. Like, let's say her mom buys the grandkids extravagant gifts and his mom can't afford to match that kind of spending. The best way to address any of these scenarios is have a policy and agree in advance, such as asking for consent before writing a check. Handling money issues in marriage is not easy. Couples should practice empathy, have the maturity to check their egos, and abandon any need for control. Now, that's much easier said than done, and no, there's no silver bullet. 1 in 5 Americans said they have financial disagreements with their significant other at least once a month. Now, if children are in your future, passing along good habits is huge. Start teaching them about money when they're young. Preparing them for a financially responsible future reduces the odds that they will dip into your wallet as adults and knock your savings plan off track. Use allowances and goals to teach your children about earning, saving, and giving, and talk to your older kids about investing. Lack of communication is the source of many marital issues. This space is where the hard work of marriage often lives. Financial anxieties, if they're not addressed, they can become even far bigger problems with much more difficult solutions. And what I have found become more public too. If you're having issues about money, talk about them out loud. Then do something. Take action steps without blaming. Sell so much in your house that the kids are afraid. Light up eBay. Taking action steps will help you from worrying. A game plan changes everything. It moves the needle. Your fear will go down. Don't try to hide by watching TV. Fear backs off when we take action. And when you put a plan together, you make it together. Little people in your house are watching. Are you going to get buried by this mountain of debt, or are you going to shovel out of it? You're not a victim, and putting a plan together is huge. I know it's something that my husband and I went through, and I didn't feel like we were on the same page until he went and put a written plan together. And then I felt like we were aligned in our goals and how we were going to attack it. So putting a plan together is a huge, huge step. If you are having any financial issues or marriage issues and you can't seem to come to an agreement on it, reach out to us. We help couples repair marital strife to help you get more out of life. My email is down below. Send me an email. I'm happy to get on the phone or discuss your needs over email. And remember to have an extraordinary marriage. Be intentional and also be financially intentional. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.